Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 27 of the Ironglide Iron Teeth hard mode playthrough. We've taken a little week off for Beavers to go on a little holiday to sunnier shores, but they are back and rested and ready to rock. Last time we obviously got all of these bits and pieces finished, devastated all of the old production area, and we basically needed to start to figure out some bits and pieces for, I think, moving into some of the end game things, as well as sorting out food, because that was kind of a problem. Although I guess this kind of helps for now. But yes, there's still a bottleneck on pretty much bot production, but again, we have 4 of them just doing pretty much nothing, so I don't think it's too bad, although science is going to be needed to fix some of the injuries that these guys can bring from working in these machines. So, this beautiful little, well, I guess, number cruncher could do with a friend, but I don't think he'll fit anywhere particularly easy. So, we are probably going to have to do a bit of butchery to the land to get this to fit. But I don't think it'll be too bad for them to do. They can reach everything, so that is tragically a pine. So let's just fix that and get rid of it. I'll just get rid of all of this. They should get that fixed pretty soon, and we just need some dynamites in here. Like so. And they should be able to reach that without that in the way. So we can get rid of these paths just so they're out the way. And then it's going to be a case of just chucking these in here, and I'm hoping that this fits. We'll find out shortly. Should do. The old Noombear Cruncher. I don't know why I even selected that, but there we go. And it fits beautifully. So, if we chuck this in here, we should be able to get this built pretty quick. I think we'll have everything. Gears, yes. Planks, yes. And blocks, yes. Okay. So with the builder beavers working overnight, they should be able to get that done really quick. That is probably going to be a bit of a problem for power, but I'm not too sure we can do much about that. Let's see what happens to the juice once that's built. Okay, no, we're fine. We're okay. I did want to look at doing something a little bit different with the pumps, because I think these are causing the power to be weird. And I'm going to test that theory by just pausing these. Yeah, okay. So with those in the way, particularly there, it really makes a big impact, actually. That's quite surprising. I didn't think it'd be that bad. I thought it was like 500 off, but maybe it'll stabilize. Let's come back to that in a minute. I think we're okay for bad water in the short term. How we fix it, though, I don't really know. I think it's going to be a case of putting something back over this way. And just making the most of this. So the plan originally was to cover this over, because we have 2 sources in here, giving us plenty of opportunity for getting the good stuff, or the bad stuff, out. But I didn't really want to continue to keep polluting all this down here, as it could be prime real estate for water. Oh yeah, we should mention we're in a bad tide. 20 days left on that bad boy. So I think with the builder beavers, and I think they're all beavers, let's just check our jobs. Workplaces. Builders are all bots, so they are safe to send down into the drink, which is going to be handy for us, given that we need to get A, control over this area, so I think we're going to have to... say have to. We are going to get them down into here to cover these things. So, where is the covers? So we're going to do this. We just need to figure out a way to get them down into this area. As we've handily cut it off from everything. I think the best thing for us to do is to do this. It's a bit convoluted, I will grant you, but I don't think there's a particularly easy way of doing anything different. In fact, no, there is. I am going to say goodbye to these. Where are they? Get rid of those. We have the technology. We will rebuild. It's going to be that. We can just do a little sneaky path around here. Once that's built, they should be able to get on that and get these stairs built. And pray that I did read this correctly, and let's just double check once more that there are no builder beavers that are of the bio persuasion. Good. So hopefully now they can get down into this. I'm going to need to sort out paths for them because they won't deal with walking too far, but that's no biggie. Let's hook straight through there. Okay. How did they build that? Did they actually build that? Oh, did they just go to the edge? Oh. Well, colour me surprised. Good, good, good. So with that, this all should go beautifully green. I think the best thing we're going to need to do is just... I do want to block this off so it isn't going to be a problem. And I do want to blast with a tunnel just out this way. Reason being is that I would like to greenify this area, if I'm totally honest, at some point. But it's going to be interesting because we don't really have a decent water source to do that either. With the amount of pumping we're doing in here, we are kind of in a bit of a situation whereby we pump this before we pretty much top up the rest of the map. So it's an interesting one, for sure. Let's see, blocks will hold out, gears will be fine. It's just, it's a long way for them to come across, even with the tube networks, so just leave it to it. That'll disappear shortly and all this will get nice and clean. I'm not sure the... How are you and well? Literally, how are you and well? Bots? Bots. Oh, shh. You okay? Whoopsie. Well. So, whoops. Yeah. How do I fix that? There are 2 unwell beavers. There are probably going to be 4 of them. I need power. Can I do anything under here? Probably not. How big are these decontamination pods? Let's say. No. No. Not too big. Okay. I think here is going to be as good as it can be. Let's just get rid. Get those built, and don't think we're going to need any more than that. I hope we don't need any more than that. Anyway, put it that way. Yeah, okay, fine. Where is it? Just had it a moment ago. Maybe for just such an occasion we do that. And I know what you're thinking, that we're going to need a little path to get onto it, and you would be right. And with that in place, they should be what they need to get done. So that'll get done very soon. Sort of about nowish. And with that, that's now connected to a path. These can just get topped up with the fixing juice. And then hopefully, I guess one of them died, but we have the ability to fix those beavers now, which is lovely. Aha, so where were we before I broke that completely? Here. So, oops. So this area is now decontaminated, apart from this little bit here, that'll disappear eventually. Yeah, and this is going to be, I think, one of those times where it's just going to be an entire load of just blasting an entire section of this out. So if we knock everything down a single level, that means that it can never come back this way, which is what we want. And then once we've got down to that level, I'm just going to then use the tunnels just to blast this way. Do we want it on the same level? Probably. If we just... I think if we just do that... the old beaver bots can work on this, and then we can then try and look to greenify this area a bit better than we have done in the past. I think we're also just going to say goodbye to these. Yes, get rid of that dirty water. And the land should go back to being lovely and green. And these berries can expand a bit once that sorts its life out. I guess we need power over here because the bots are struggling. How do we get power over here? As that is going to be something we need them to do. We could take this opportunity to have some power over here by using this. Do I have it within me to make a brief and quick dirty power thing for down here? I think it might be an idea. If we use the little ones, these should... what are they? 3? 2s? I mean, I should remember this because I did it last time, but yeah, it's 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Change of plan then. I think gets back to the landscaping. So 1, 2, 3. And then hopefully that'll be enough to channel it down into 1 and that can keep the power levels up. And we're going to have to do something interesting up here for that. That is obviously too far away. Why would it not be too far away? It's obviously too far away. Please deal with this. Hopefully once they get back on the tubes, they can get recharged over here. I think these are our only charges, to be fair, so... Okay, it's in the juices, that's fine. I guess, short term... we're going to need to be a bit crazy, I think, down here, so... let's just say goodbye to these paths. Not find a way. And it's going to have to be a little engine that could, I think. It did fit. We could have left it in. Never mind. So, where are we, bots? And I would like that doing before anything else, please. Ugly paths, but it'll be fine. Get the haulers to deal with that, and then there should be enough for the beavers to fix that properly. And then we will probably sort out the... Why did you finish that one last? Makes no sense, but okay. So hopefully these beavers are clever enough, which I doubt, to get themselves into the charges. Oh, they are. Fantastic. I mean, this guy isn't. He's going to walk around the entirety of creation to get to that, which, you know, fine, I guess. Looks like he got his orders before I took that path out, but that should fix a lot of the immediate problems down here. We're going to have to be a bit cleverer with the height that we need for these. Where are they? These, as I've forgotten completely what size they need to be. So I think, if that's there... So we need at least to be 4 down, I think. If I remember rightly? Yeah, okay. Chuck stuff on top. That's a bit of a shame, but needs must, I suppose. Let's just get rid of all of this. We don't need it. So we need to be 4 deep. I will forget that by the time we get around to actually doing it, just as a FYI. And we will be drawing that out again. So... Okay, so that's kind of evened out. We're not doing too much in terms of bad water usage, so that's A-okay for that. Just zoom back down here. should be more than enough for them to build everything. I wonder if it would be a good idea to... I think it would. So, let's just think about this for a second. So, we need to stop contamination, so I'm going to blow that out. And I also want to go with an irrigation barrier that runs like so. I mean, this is super low hanging fruit stuff, so just get to that when they can. And how's this guy doing? I mean, if you're starving and dehydrated, why don't you get something to eat? You literally don't do anything all day. Where are you? Tubes, are you? What are you doing? Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind, never mind. Leave him to it. He knows what he's doing. That should be reachable, which it is. Right, so with any luck, that should be everything sorted down here. So we are now going to rip this all out again. Demolish buildings. Don't think that'll have done anything to anything upstairs, but we'll find out soon, I guess. And you guessed it. I assume those planks were yeeted into the void. Which is a bit of a pain, but never mind. So they'll get that built for us really quickly. So we'll need to lay in all of the things. What I'm going to do as well is do a similar thing as we've done before, which was run the power up and down into a shaft, and we just bring it out somewhere up here. And then we can run it, I guess, up and round and the back here, maybe, to power this thing that I was going to put on here, which I haven't yet done. Look at that shortly. Just being distracted by earthworks, which is always a good thing. It'd be nice if there was a 4 deep dynamite, to be fair, but we are not that lucky. So hopefully that is that done. That is that done. And once these guys clear the area, we should be able to kablamo this. But just in case anyone gets a bit crazy, let's say goodbye to all of this. Lovely stuff. So, that does fit in there nicely. So you might be wondering, what am I doing? Doing that. However, because we've drop this down a notch, we don't need to dig 4 deep, and so this has built us the 4 deep we need. So this should No thanks. That's not what I asked for. Damn force perspective. We just need to build most of this across here, so they should... Okay, they won't be able to reach all of that, but is that going to be an issue? Probably... If we get that built, and we then need to be careful with our excavations here, because if we need to blast that out and all of that, and then we need to go down 2, I think, so we can hook them into some power, and then we can run. Once that's built, we can then just channel straight up English, straight up to get that sorted. We will need to rip that out, and I know I've just built it, but never mind. But they should come running in shortly to get all that sorted for us. With any luck. Someone using the charger, so I don't think there's anything else on the list. How are you still contaminated? How long does it take them to get actually unstuck from contamination? Please tell me you're coming into here. You should return to society. Yes, okay, good. Is it like 3 dips? Why? Pain. They're all pain. Thanks for that. Anyway, he will sort himself out. Or she, whatever. They'll get it sorted soon. They are not doing as quickly as I'd have liked around here. Why is that? Could it be that you need some storage? Let's just get them onto that. You can be 4 logs, and you can be 4 planks, and I think that's all we need. Yeah. And we'll get these set to obtain, and get the haulers to bring it in for us. And hopefully the builder bots, beaver bots, can get everything sorted for that. I guess we probably also need teeny tank for the extract. Again, obtain. Gets done. And a teeny tiny storage as an obtain for Miss Dynamite there. And haulers, thank you. So yeah, there's a bit of a distance for bio beavers to haul that stuff in, but it's going to be better for us to get that situated down here, because then these beavers can concentrate on just building the stuff. One at a time, stuff like this is usually fairly slow, but it is what it is, unfortunately, for that one. What we can do while we're waiting is put that in. And I would, thinking about it, no, I'm not going to. See how much that contaminates. I'm hoping this area remains pretty clear. With all of the extra stuff here, they should be able to get that sorted pretty quickly. I'd like you to get these done. And I guess we just need to double check how deep we need to go here. I think it's a 3. 2, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when we get to it. Leave them to that. Everything should be delivered down here, which it is. Good. Bad water probably needs fixing sooner rather than later, which was the whole point of this area, wasn't it? So, yeah. Okay. So let's think about this. So I want to keep this and this barrier in place to stop any contamination coming through this way. And I suspect I'm going to have to do something interesting to go this way as well, just to separate it. So let's do that, I think. We may as well just plug that up. I think we have a bit of height. We do. So I think the best thing for us to do will be that. And then we've got a little path in through there, and then contaminator barrier? And contamination barrier that. And we can take that out. And again, it's probably going to be tunnels for days going that way, and probably a similar theory this way. And just run all the way all the way to the end. That should contain this area, separate it from the rest of the land. We do need to get, obviously, the bad water pumps in here, but we'll get to that soon. Cool. So, before we devastate this completely, let's just rip these out. Say goodbye to all of that. And I'm hoping that it is just 2. So we get that laid in. We'll find out if this is a grave mistake shortly. There's always one. Here he comes. Let's kaboom that. And with any luck, power should now connect to here. Which it does. So we need this one to come up. We are going to have to just relay these back in. Oh, you can put on top of those. Well, that's magic. I like that. But I don't want to do that, do I? Let's just... Before I make a grave mistake of building stuff that I don't need to build, let's just take that out. So if we do... Yeah, okay, that doesn't work. So it does need to be 2s. And then this. And I'm wondering now if this was the right thing to put here. Probably not. So Whoopsie. Construction for no reason. Yeah, so we're going to put this bit down here. Just because it lets us build everything, for point number 1. And it also lets us put in what we need to put in for getting the overhangs in here. As this lets us build everything. So they can work on that. Metal box is probably going to be something they need down here anyway. Although we could be actually really sneaky. I've had another theory. I've had an epiphany. It won't work. It's a terrible epiphany. It won't work because it is too far. No, actually it would work. Why can I not build that? Why can I not build that? Okay. Do you need that? Oh, you two. Yes, of course. Of course. This is going to get a little bit funky as we need to get down into here. I may have an issue here. You definitely have an issue here. Okay. Yeah, okay. How is this going to be achieved? Okay, cunning plan time. Let's do this sensibly instead of messing about, as we've spent far too much time, more than we should have done, dealing with this. So bin that off. Bin that off. Let's just put this guy back here, and we then should be able to get away with this. Oh, whoops. My bad. With that, though, they should be able to reach everything that's at least down here, then we'll just withdraw the bridge. And then we just need to find out where this comes out now, so... It's there. I think. It'd be nice if there was a way to figure out what this was. We're out of bad water juices, so I need to fix that. Pretty sharpish. Anyway, so let's fix that then. I promise you we will get back to a regularly scheduled Beaver program momentarily. That's going to be for the terrain stuff, and with any luck we can now get the bits and pieces in here that we need to actually get them to do, so... We need a bridge to get them over here, so that's good. Got one of these. May as well just round that off nicely. Bad water pump, get that in. I'll flip that actually. These will fit in a bit nicer here. Less so there. And then we just need a bridge to get them in. So what's the easiest way to do that? So it's going to be definitely one of these. Definitely one of these. And definitely one of these. And definitely getting some more of that tunnel jazz in there. Cool. So they're now connected. These are doing nothing because we need to get the juices flowing this way. Contamination doesn't seem to be a problem that way, so maybe that's a bit pointless, but never mind. We are producing some power down here, I think. As much as it could be, but it certainly is. I would have hoped for more, to be fair, but never mind. Is this one? Nope. It's going to be this one. A little water wheel, can get that put into there. Once they built that, we can take out that completely, so that should be now fixable for them. Yes, it is. You're gonna need storage somewhere around here. That's a bit of a shame. Not really a good place to put a giant tank up here anywhere. So what can we do? It will fit on top. Oh, that's pretty disgusting actually. Let's do that. Oh yeah, that's what we want. So that's going to be a supply depot. This area is actually coming together quite nicely. I think this is going to cause a bit of an issue for getting to it. So we can fix that by hitting this guy and these two. Let's get this done. Should let us now run this path in here. Allow him to work on that. Ditch this guy and get final little bit of power in there. So we are generating negligible amounts of power, but kind of is what it is, I suppose. It's enough for... So we could pipe that in, I suppose. Never mind. It was a good idea. We don't really have the contamination issues that we were having before. That is built, so we can take this guy out. Chuck that guy in. And I'm hoping... just get them to do that first. I'm hoping that cleans up this area. Let's find out together. Please, treated planks. I suppose they have to go to the other side of the map for those, which is, I guess, a fair shout. Yeah, look at that. So we'll run these all the way down here. We might have to start at the back and work his way forward. Or backwards, whichever way you want to think about that. And this then should isolate this area completely. It would be nice if these were classed as paths for the beavers to use, but they are tragically not. So we can't do much about that. We just need to get then someone up to here, I believe, to then dig down. So let's just start that process. Is there any way to get anyone over here? The answer is there is a way, but it's not going to be easy. So I think the best thing for us to do is to rip this out. I'm hoping they will reach over there, so that's fine. Don't know why I'm too concerned about resource wastage at that point, but never mind, we'll just put in that one. Get that done. And then it's just going to be a case of getting some staircases up here. And then we have a nice little path for the beavers to get into there. Yeah, and then we have a power point at least. We can work on that from above. Let's go back down here. That's about 350. That's not too bad, I guess. I wondering if the output there is a problem due to outflow. Probably is, actually. Can that be fixed with what we have? I mean, it can. Okay, so... I promise you we will leave this area soon. Let's just tunnel these out. Tunnel these out. Not that they can get in here anymore, which is a bit of a pain. No matter, we will go the long way around. I'll just do it that way. Ah, good. This is done. So in theory then, we should now at least be able to lay that in. Again, there's no contamination. This is probably pointless waste of resources, but you can never go too wrong. It's going to have to be a path just to fit all that in. So this should maybe improve this out from 27 to something more akin to, maybe not quite that high, but we'll see. It may be worth funneling this a little bit better, to be fair. Oh, good selected, you say? Let's bad water that. I'll get the whole rest of it back to wherever it needs to go. These guys should be able to get everything in there quite nicely. Oh yes, we are day 2 into that. We still have water in here, which is perfect because this used to get sucked dry. We could probably do with a lot of the beavers back in here pumping to fill all this back up. So it seems we have 77 of them doing absolutely nothing. Please come and fill this up. That'll get topped up shortly. And we have a million science now, so let's do the thing we were going to do at the start, which is fix a lot of the problems for this. Yes, please. So now we have self-replicating beavers. I do believe we are in a situation whereby all of the jobs, the major jobs, are... That was a short drought. We should be able to get the builder bolts doing some of this good stuff. It's already botified. Let's get them in there. And in theory, the bots should be retired at this point. Not the bots, the beavers. Let's take a look here. They could be in the centrifuge. Do we have enough for that? I'll leave those for now. Mine's been done by them, which is farmhouse is okay. I wouldn't mind getting them doing the fluid dumps that's keeping most of the stuff alive. Is it worth getting them on the food factory? Probably. Foresters, no. Gear workshops, they're all done. Hauling post, that would be a good one to get them to do. Cutting down trees, no. Oil press, I don't think I have a site for this. Yeah, okay. Need to leave that for a while. Shouldn't take as long to get that much. I think that's all the beavers out of non-natural work, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Any of the industry stuff is now done by them. Good. Yeah, in here and sorted, so let's just fix this little bit in here. Where are we? Landscaping. It was 3, I believe. I think we can place a 3 there either. It shouldn't be a problem though. We kaboom these. And we can get rid of that. those picked up. Yeah, let's improve that quite dramatically. So let's do that as well, and in theory... Yeah, fair enough. It's about 300-ish, kinda. So, good enough, I think. What we need it to be. Let's see. Let's get rid of. Wanted to get rid of the hats. I'm hoping. Of course. And now, thanks. Similar story here, actually. So let's demolish. That and get this in. That's not the right one. Done that mistake before, and they should be able to reach that. Yes, they can. Nice of you to go charge. Should be able to do that. And that should fix any contamination issues that side. Well, that should go away. Obviously, once they built it. We could do a little storage down here for trees and planks, but we're not going to need it for that much longer, to be fair. So that should tidy that up. With any luck. Hopefully. Please. Is that working? Yes, okay, good. System works. So, we have the slowest beavers in all creation. I tell you what, let's just... Wrong one. Thanks. Highest priority. Obtain. And we get this nicely boxed off. Delete some more of these. Then we have contained the contamination. Let's come back to that in a sec. Zoom back up. Just need to blast another 3 into there. They should be able to reach that still, which is fine. So, where were we? The science, that's right. It's down here, the oil press, I think it was. Yes. So we get those all beavered up for that. 21-day drought. That shouldn't be too bad. Water here has got a nice amount in it. Let's do with pausing these guys again. Yes, we have 100 beavers with absolutely nothing to do. So let's do the thing that I was going to build last time. So we are looking basically at monuments at this point. So I was going to stick this guy here, overlooking. Not enough science points. Oh, it's 12k. But it was 1200. Well, well, well. So I guess I'm not doing that. Okay. So we are going to need to boost the power for that to work anyway. And I was going to build something under here. What was it? Was it the big stuff? Was it the mud bath? It may have been the wind tunnel up here, actually. Could have very well been the wind tunnel up here. I suppose we could. Now that our dreams of using the power from elsewhere are dead, we may as well. We may as actually well do that. Where can we run the power, though? If we could do something nice like this. I don't think we need 2 motivariums, but I'm going to put dance hall underneath. I think I might have been, actually. Let's get them dancing in there. And I think worry somewhat about how to deal with the power requirements of running this jazz up here. We're going to need... Oh, this thing needs 600. This needs 4. What else do we have? So we need quite a lot of engines around there to do that, which we could do, I guess, but... And they require 50. There's a lot of power for this. Okay, so we're going to need to at least rip these out. Because we're going to need to put in an entire row of these. We're going to need to run it in an entire... Definitely cantilevered correctly area up here. So I think we may as well just commit to having to stick in 1,000,000 engines to run all these shenanigans. So that's fine. We need to rejig this slightly. No, thank you. Don't need that. We do need to run the power, so... And we should, in theory, now be able to put most of that back in that's I've just ripped out. Learn to zoom better. There we go. So, and then that should. Okay. Go back onto there. That should allow us to build that once they get to it, which will be perfect. And then we should be able to run enough power in here to keep most of this alive. So, where's that wind tunnel gone? It disappoints me that the power can't run that way. So we don't need that guy, so let's rip him out. Go 2 or 1? Yeah, we could put in 2, I think, eventually, but not now. I think mud baths might actually be a bit more exciting for the beavers to play with. I think. I think that'd be a bit more exciting for beavers to be playing with, if I'm honest, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm going to undo all of that because I'm going to flip it. So, where is it? Going back into here. Going to flip all of these. Make sure this works first. Should be there. Yes, okay, good. These should be able to go into there. In fact, I will put that back in, and I will put in some storage for dirt up here. Dirt. It's not in that. Dirt is that. Lay those in. Get these sorted by the haulers. What's wrong with you? It's not connected to any paths, which is technically correct. Best kind of correct. We will need to just stop that for 1 second as I've made a slight boo-boo. We do need to lay that in. Let's just pause that a second. And this one, because knowing these guys, they will trap themselves. And while that may be fun for them, it is not fun for me, so... definitely did that in the right order. 100%. Yeah, I need some charging up here for sure. Gonna need to run in something, so let's worry about that one next time, I think. Good. Let's do that one. Please and thank you. Super priority. Yeah, there's no juice up here, is there? I mean, right now we don't. What's taking 6? Oh yeah, the motor bearing underneath. In that case, what might be fun this should work, I believe. Oh, the bot charges. Yeah, we could, in that case then. Yeah, and then we just run in a little singular power like that. They should be able to build that from above if necessary, so we should now be able to place this bubble bath back in. I like the way they built that in some random order, but never mind. And then we can probably choose some extra benefits over here, so what are we short on? Campfires moved off terrace, which you're not going to be able to do much about, but lanterns and shrubs, definitely do something with that. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can. We could chuck them off the back, maybe, I don't know. And then if we put the lantern there. Bit cheesy, I know, but it should work, and that is the best kind of should. Because if they're spending all of their time in here, they will not have too much of an issue doing anything else, so... And yes, I know this is a bit super cheesy, but we are going to go for it. Okay, so we should be able to take all the bots out of rotation at this point, so... I say bots, bio beavers. Science points, eh? Fair enough. Say 800. 250. Don't really want to put them into the... I mean, I could do, I suppose, but... Problem with the fluid dumps is that they're all over the place, and I don't want anything to do. Well, I don't want to deal with putting engines everywhere just to charge the bots. Similar story with the farmhouses, to be fair. Haulers might be a good idea. Let's haul for me, beavers. that should be all the... Yeah, okay, so they're now all busy. I think we are quite safe to give these guys a 10-hour day. I think. Anyway, so, right, what are we missing then? Campfire and rooftop terrace and roofs. So, they're going to be a pain to build. But we could. Let's just go back down here. Did I finish building these bits? I did not. Let's finish this one glorious little task off. That should contain the contamination. Not that there's much, but it's just in this corner. And we are sealed off, which is nice. If we go back up here... Look at that. Prospecting for gold, and we found it. So, let's just... We've got that now, so we can let them build that at their leisure. We shouldn't see any contamination issues anywhere else on the map. Except for maybe over here. But there's nothing too much to worry about over here, I don't think. Just because we've got that there, and it drops so far down that it's not really a problem. There's nothing over here that's too much of a concern anyway. Cool, so we still have 3 beds, which I've not checked on in 1,000 years. But that is ticking up nicely. Let's just make the haulers do that job. Yeah, because I don't want to build this kind of construct like all the way in here. And everywhere we've got farms and water dumps to keep all of the crops going, so it's not really going to happen, unfortunately. Food's looking okay. Cassavas are still terrible, which is weird because I would have thought that... Well, that might help. I would have thought that they would have been able to pull all this out of the ground, but seemingly not. It might be best if... Yeah, no, leave it alone. Leave it alone. If we get them to harvest, they get pulled out of the ground a bit quicker. Eggplants aren't doing so hot. Soybeans, where are the eggplants? Oh, they're over here. Yeah, so yeah, they'll get round to that eventually. Cool, so now that we've cheesed a lot of this, which I'm quite proud of, to be fair, these numbers should be working in our favour. So, pools we need to do something better with. Mud baths will go up, especially with all the extra time. We could look at the mushrooms and the algae rations next time. Whether there's a problem. Roofs, again, I don't really want to build them, but if I must. I'm gonna have to. But I don't want to. But we'll see. Anyway, I think for this episode, we've done quite a bit of work. So we've... Let's just do a quick map retour around everything we've done. So we've basically isolated this area off. We've stopped all the bad tide coming from down here. We could expand this out a little bit to get some more mangrove fruits, but whether we will or not, I don't know. But this here will put some extra power up at this end of the map. Not a lot. I will grant you. We could maybe change them for the bigger ones, but we don't really get too much in here, to be fair. And they're a pain in the ass to build. Point number one. But we could and see if they actually get the throughput, but we'd only be able to put in 2. So that's 470, which I guess might be worth it. We'll consider it next time. If not, we can put those back in. We have also, zoom back up this way, moved all the production for anything that isn't farming and watering plants to the bots. And obviously moved the bad water thing over there, because I think these were interfering quite painfully with the amount of throughput that we could supply over here. If we're feeling brave, we could also run a power feed all the way through here and into this if we wanted to. Maybe put that on the back burner, but we'll see. And we are also doing fairly well now on water. This is a problem because this isn't really enough to keep this map going forever. But we now currently lack pretty much science points, and I think we're beginning to move into pretty much looking at certainly the Earth repopulator, and we need to get this guy in next time because he's going to sit just there. We may cheese that by adding some more number crunchers. I don't really want to because these, while good to get 10 an hour, they take quite a lot of juice, although we'd have quite a lot of overhead spare, to be fair. So maybe we could get another couple of these in just to really crank up the numbers to get us at least at this point. Building this is going to be interesting. We do not have the production capacity for certainly the treated planks. That's going to break this little area up here, I think. Certainly with the mine running anyway. But we should be able to keep up with that anyway. There are quite a few jobs that they need to be filled by bots, so it could be that we actually also have to expand this area, which I didn't really want to hope to have to do, but maybe we're gonna have to. Oh, go get charged then. We could also maybe look at Greece and the whatever it is, control tower. Just to zhuzh them up a bit. So these could be something that we look at to sort the bots out, to get a bit more, well, say effort. They work 24/7 without too much thank, but we'll work on it. And I think it's just, I think the bot part factories are the slowest part, to be fair, so it could be we need to tweak these somewhat. Haulers maybe the best thing to do. Let's while we're wrapping up, why not? Let's just do it. Let's do the usual wrap up by then doing another 5 hours of gameplay. So yeah, so increase the areas down here for fun. We are looking at decent levels of well-being at this point. Average is 50. It's certainly come a long way since the last time, well, we started. There's a few bits and pieces we need to fix around here for roofs and whatnot to really fix this. Maybe some campfires over in this area. Might be quite nice, because the area is kind of dead, and I want to greenify this area because I want to grow some more plants around here. But yeah, we are in a really good position. We've got 10 days left on this drought, and then the water will come back in here. Obviously we can't pump it if it ain't here to be pumped, but so far so good with this area. We probably do need to keep an eye on this, as it is a problem for swimming pools and whatnot. It could be that we have to build swimming pools somewhere else and actually fill them with water dumps, which doable. Kind of a waste of water. If we were going to do that, I think we'd probably need some more tanks, but I think we're at the pumping capacity that these water sources can cope with. I think there's 4. I did check this once. Let's in dev mode just to have a look. Yeah, 1, 2. Yes, there's only 4 that comes out of it. Let's turn dev mode back off. So yeah, it's not, with all of these going, it can fill up quite rapidly. But we'll see. Anyway, enough rambling. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, please chuck them down below, and see you guys next time.